If you're watching this right now, it's not by accident. You weren't ready to hear this before, and maybe you're still fighting it. But God or universe has a way of putting the right message in front of you at the right time. Now, to be honest, you've probably blown accounts, lost money, maybe even lost confidence in yourself, right? You're questioning if you will ever make it in this industry. 95% of retail traders fail and lose money, so automatically you assume that you're going to be part of that 95%. Trust me, I've been there, right? I was blowing 7 accounts, losing over $10,000 in my first year of trading, back when I had absolutely nothing. And at that point of time, I was angry at myself a lot, right? I was angry at the market, I was angry at smart money, blaming the world, blaming my external circumstances, and I was even angry at God for not giving me what I thought I deserved. But then what I failed to realize was that every failure was preparation. I wasn't ready to handle this level of success back then, right? Because I wasn't the person who is worthy of this. I haven't become the person who is great enough to achieve his greatest goals. And if God gave me 100K or $1 million back then, I probably would have destroyed it. Just like how lottery winners often just lose their fortune overnight because they have amassed a huge fortune overnight, but they haven't become the person who knows how to utilize the fortune, who is worthy of that new fortune. Now, back then, I just didn't have the discipline, the humility, the patience to actually handle success, right? And everything has changed for the past 6 years. I realized that you have to go through the rain in order to see the rainbow at the end of the rain. You have to go through the tunnel in order to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There is no light without dark. You have to experience being poor in order to understand, or rather appreciate, what it feels like to be rich. You have to be insecure in order for you to appreciate what it feels like to be confident in yourself, right? To just not having anything to prove to anyone else, right? To just accept the world for it is. Like, these are the stuff that you have to go through. These are the trials and tribulations that is necessary for you to, in order for you to become the person that you want to become, right? In order for you to attain the success that you're trying to attain right now. But like I said, you don't see it right now because right now you are going through the rocky cutscenes. You are going through the shit, you are blowing the accounts, you are losing money, you're getting stopped out constantly, you are letting emotions impede your judgment, you are rushing into trades impulsively, and you fail to realize that at the end of the entire trading journey, right? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you're going to look back and you'll see that you are a completely different trader because you're no longer making the same mistakes you used to make when you're in your year one, in your year two, the silly revenge trading mistakes or forcing trade mistakes. You don't do that anymore, right? Because you have unlocked the next level. You're one step closer to reaching your fullest potential. So remember, guys, sometimes rejection is preparation. Looking back now, I thank God for delaying my breakthrough because the delay forced me to grow into the type of man who could actually handle it, right? And maybe that's what this video is for you. The sign that your struggles aren't punishment, they are preparation. They're preparing you for the next level. They're preparing you to reach your fullest potential as a human. They're preparing you to become the person who is worthy of the success, worthy of the fortunes, the riches. So just understand that, like, whatever you guys are going through right now, right, it might suck. In fact, it's gonna suck for a very long period of time. But at the end of it, right, at the end of the entire arduous journey, you will be able to achieve two things. Whatever you want to achieve from trading, your goals, and the person you want to become, right, which is the higher self. And that's what it's all about, right? In trading, it's not just about the money, the riches, the wealth, the status, the fame, whatever. Rather, it's about the person that you have to become in order to make that $1 million. That's all it is. Whatever you're going through right now, understand that this too shall pass. And when it passes, you're gonna feel a huge sense of accomplishment, a huge sense of satisfaction, because you have been through the fire and you have came out alive. You have been through hell, and they've came out alive. A few years ago, when I enrolled into the military, right, and I was assigned to become the machine gunner, and being one of the smallest guys in the platoon, I was like angry, right? I was angry at my sergeant for assigning me to become the machine gunner, because how the hell am I supposed to carry this big ass machine gun, right? And I was like I said, one of the smallest guys in the platoon, right? But my sergeant picked me because I had the mental toughness that is capable of carrying that huge weight, right? And he just knew that I wouldn't quit no matter what. And then eventually I get accustomed to it, I get acclimatized to the weights and the difficulties, and it becomes like second nature, right, to carry that machine gun around. And yeah, at that point of time, I just felt so angry, right? I felt angry at my sergeant for choosing me. I felt angry at God for like assigning me to become a machine gunner. And I felt angry at the world, and I felt like everything was unfair, and I felt like I was gonna die if I carried this machine gun because this thing is so heavy, and I can't walk 10 km road march with this shit. You know, it's like all of this over catastrophizing the bad situation just makes the bad situation even worse, right? While if you just extrapolate it, right, you start thinking to yourself, what is God trying to teach me right now? What is the virtue that God is trying to get me to develop right now in this tough circumstance, right? What quality will I develop once I conquer this hardship? Ask yourself those questions when you are encountered with like a difficult situation, right? When you are encountering a challenge that you have to overcome, but you can't seem to get over the hurdle. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Because once you overcome that challenge, you will automatically unlock a new virtue, a new quality, right? Like for example, if you want to be patient, then when things start to get long and difficult, and you have to go through months, if not years, to see consistency in trading, then instead of like thinking that it's a bad thing, reframe it into thinking that trading is just teaching you to be patient, right? It's teaching you to outlast the competition. It's teaching you to endure the 3 years, 5 years, so that you can eventually succeed, right? That's the market teaching you about patience. And if you are trying to develop the quality of courage, right, and God give you a situation where you have to face and conquer your fears, then instead of lamenting and thinking that this is unfair, why not reframe it and think of it as, this is an opportunity for me to develop the quality of courage. And just by reframing hardship, difficulties, obstacles, challenges, trials and tribulations as opportunities for you to develop the virtues and the qualities that God wants you to develop, you will have a much more satisfying and fulfilled life, right? Because you won't be blaming external circumstances, you won't be blaming things that are outside of your control, but instead, you will be focused on really growing, right? And realizing your fullest potential as a human. So, if you're here, it means that you're ready to hear this. So, stop fighting the timing, do the work, build the discipline, trust that when you are truly ready, the doors will open for you. But it's not going to open right now, right? It's only going to open when you are ready, when you are deserving of it. And when they do, you will realize that they couldn't have opened any sooner. That's just life. Yeah, so this was like a little reflection that I had when I was like just sitting in my balcony and just admiring this gorgeous of a view, right? This 180 sea view, so beautiful, man. And I was just like, yeah, man, there's no way younger Brad could have handled this, right? There's no way younger Brad could have lived in $1 million apartment admiring $1 million view, because he was insecure, he was broke, he was miserable, he was living in fear, scarcity all the time. There was no way he could have accomplished this. But once I shifted my identity and I become the person who I'm trying to become, right? Become a higher self, right? Realizing my fullest potential, then that is when everything changed. So you must understand that the inner world has to change before your outer world have to change. Always remember, changing yourself is easier than changing the world. So start by changing yourself, changing your habits, changing your belief, changing your thoughts, changing your emotions, changing your actions. Because when you start doing that consistently, things that is within your control, you will be able to change the things outside of you, outside of your control, right? You will be able to achieve the results that you're trying to achieve and achieve the goals that you're trying to achieve. But that will not come until you change the inner world, until you shift your mindset and your paradigm. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to let you guys know that, man, eventually you are going to win. So if you are already in hell, why not keep going? There's no other way out, man. You can't just look back and quit right now. You're already halfway in. Why not just push through, finish the entire race, no matter how tired you are, no matter how exhausted you are, so that you can actually win. Just think about it. If you just push through it, you will eventually win. It's pretty much guaranteed. Success is guaranteed if you do not quit. But if you quit right now, failure is guaranteed. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys want more like raw and unfiltered videos just like this down in the comments below. And let me know what's the one key lesson that you have taken away from this short little vlog-ish. Alright. Anyways, thank you guys and I'll see you next time.